Hey, what's going on everybody? Occy here. You might have seen my video earlier today about playing with the new hero Orisa in my first match, but I'm just going to jump in with her in the practice range since I can finally get into the practice range. And we're going to try her out and we're going to test her and we're going to see how she does. And this is going to be my first impression. So first off, 400 HP, 200 of which is armor. That seems pretty good to me, honestly. One thing I am going to notice right off the bat is her hitbox is still pretty, big. That's a really, really wide hitbox. So I'm not sure if 400 health is going to be enough for a hitbox that big. But, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. So first up, her gun feels, I don't know, really good. This, if you just look at the spread, that's the spread right there with my crosshair. That's great. Look at that. That's so good. And apparently, there isn't much damage fall off either, any at all, I think. Just look at how fast you can melt people from that range. Obviously, these are solitary bot targets that don't move, but it does not take long to burn people down, so her damage is pretty crazy, which, personally, I think that's an okay trade-off for her not having as much HP, and, I mean, for me, I prefer damage, give me stuff with damage. I don't know, we'll have to see if she's too tanky, because I don't like when tanks are super good at tanking and doing damage, but we'll have to see. So, first up, we can't really test this move out, but this is her... It gives her immunity to CC, basically, from what I understand. Let's check it out real quick. Reduce damage taken and you cannot be stopped. So I don't actually know what the damage resistance, how much that is. But that's her main, don't touch me ability. I think we only take 1 damage apiece from these guys. Let's see, 380. I think we take 4. Yeah, we take 4. Normally. Okay, now let's see how much we take. We go down to 2, so 50% damage reduction, maybe? I don't know, I feel like that's too much. It's probably not 50. But the important thing about that, actually, I think, will be the CC immunity. Because you can just not get earth shattered, or if an Ana shoots sleep dart at you, you just pop this, and haha, you don't sleep me, you just wasted a cooldown. That's going to be insane. Really, really strong, I feel like. Okay, next up is her barrier. You just kind of shoot it out there and it sits here. Apparently this is the exact same volume as Reinhardt's barrier, but it obviously covers less just distance because it's curved, but you get a little more protection from the sides. So this could actually be pretty good, I think, if you put it in a choke. Let's say, I don't know, the choke is right here, right? From across here. And you're trying to push through here, and you put this in the choke, boom, you can pop up here, and you have protection from the sides. If a Roadhog is sitting off on the side trying to hook you, you can be safe from that a little more. A little more than you would with Reinhardt's barrier. So I guess that's something where she has an advantage. One thing about this barrier, it's placeable like Winston's, right? But unlike Winston's, the cooldown starts as soon as you throw it out. If you look there, it doesn't wait until the barrier self-destructs, auto-deletes itself. It just sits there. And I think this lasts for way longer than Winston's barrier. Yeah, see, I can throw out another one now. And that's interesting. That is a projectile, sort of like Sombo's Translocator, only activate on the ground. I could see that being actually really clutch. Let's say you're running to get back to the fight and you see your teammates way up there. You can launch it out and, boom. Obviously, it'd be pretty hard to do because you'd have to get the projectile right on it, but that could make for some really, really cool plays. Okay, next up is this move. You spit that out. That travels pretty fast. I feel like it travels even faster than the Symmetra orbs. But basically what this does is it slows enemies it passes by, and you can click it again to detonate it, and it'll pull everyone in. So let's, I don't know, let's test it out on this guy. So he's coming at us, boom. Oh, it detonates when it hits a surface. That's interesting. I did not know that. Well, I think I'll actually use this guy because there's no slope where he is, so... Come on over. Interesting. I'm not really noticing the slow that much. I wonder if it's something like it's more noticeable on the user's end. But yeah, it's kind of like a mini graviton. It just sucks them back in. That's some very good crowd control, honestly. Like, this is going to synergize so damn well with Ana's grenade. Because, like, as long as there's no, like, Reinhardt around, you just throw this down, suck them in, boom, nade. That's half their team that can't heal, and they're basically dead now. And of course you get the burst, because while your team's shooting them where they're pulled in. This is going to be an insane skill, I think. Once again, just throw that and boom. Even on just one person, being able to control them, that's basically a flashbang without the stun. Because you're basically holding them immobile for that same amount of time, and you get that free time to put damage on them. But in addition to that, you can do it to like multiple people, and it apparently also slows. So I don't know, that's really, really good. Let's come over here. I want to try something. Yep. That's gonna be so frustrating too. Like, I don't know, you can imagine the pit on Ilios well. Just throw that in the middle and like pull everyone in. I don't know, man. This ability seems incredibly strong. And this one too. These two abilities seem ridiculously powerful. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Okay, and then her ult. Let's test out her ult. So you throw this down, and we get damage boost. That's weird. It's not damage boosting the bot. Of course, that makes her gun powerful. Basically, Mercy's damage boost, but it applies to all teammates. I don't know why it's not going to the bot. And it's got health. Let's see. Oh, I was going to count the bars. We'll get it back and count the bars. But yeah, you have to be in line of sight for that. It can be killed, and it only lasts a certain amount of time, which is interesting, because that's different from Symmetra's ult. But it definitely seems... I kind of agree with that, because like Symmetra's ult is a lot more passive and defensive, whereas this is really strong, so it has weaknesses that you wouldn't see on Symmetra's ult. Like, you have to be in line of sight, and it only lasts a certain amount of time. So let's see. Throw it down. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 200 health. So, you know, standard health as most heroes. Interesting. I gotta be honest, I'm really not impressed by her ult. But I don't think she needs a strong ult, to be completely honest. Like, this is a mini ultimate already. Kind of like how Ana's Bionade is basically an ultimate. The sucking in, like, that's basically an ultimate. That's a budget Graviton Surge. And that's really, like, look at that. Look at the range on that. That's so good. That's really, really good. And then the fact that she can just ignore crowd control whenever she wants. And that's also damage resistance too. Like, that's so good. That's so good. I can just imagine, like, you coming up on like a hog and he throws the hook and you immediately proc this. Like, he can't hook you. Those two abilities are really, really good. Okay, let's see. Let's see how long this lasts. So we throw it out.
Cease your resistance.
One, two. So about 14, 15 seconds, I think. That's a pretty decent amount of time. It's not, I don't know, it'd be interesting, because you'd want to use that in the middle of a team fight, I guess. But you'd want it to be in the back. Now, luckily you have your shield, and you could just pop that down and then go into the fight. And they'd have trouble, like, getting to it, because they have to get around or through the shield. And you've still got line of sight, so... I don't know, the ult can be useful, I think. I just don't think it's, like, on the same level as, like, an EMP or a Graviton or something. But, like, that doesn't matter, like I said. Like, that really doesn't matter, because her base kit is so damn strong. Look at that. And her gun is just, like... Wow. Her gun is so good. I don't know. She's very strong as an individual, I think, and she's got a lot of good synergy Like as I mentioned, like pulling people into the nano grenade or bio grenade. What remains to be seen is how she'll fit into an actual team comp, because I'm not sure that she'll completely replace Reinhardt. In fact, I really don't think she will, because like this is a mobile and it only has 900 health, and that's not going to compete with Reinhardt's barrier directly. But that being said, she could potentially, you know, take the spot of like a Reinhardt on an aggressive push, because you've got this. You can go in with this. Nobody can CC you, like Meee can't freeze you. You've got this to suck people in close and get the kills that you need. Like, she seems very, very strong as an individual. It remains to be seen how she'll fit into team comps, but I think she's at least going to be guaranteed as an off-tank. Like, she'll at least compete with Zarya and D.Va and Roadhog for those off-tank spots. But, damn, she is really strong. She is lacking a mobility skill. Like, this is all you got. You can crouch. You can crouch, which is nice. It's not like D.Va where you can't crouch. Well, maybe look at... She's got the 4 legs going on, so... I wonder what she looks like when she crouches. That's probably pretty funny. I'd love to see her hitboxes, actually, because, as I mentioned before, her hitbox is really, really big. So I want to see how she looks when she's, like, crouching and jumping and stuff. How big she is and whatnot. But overall, first impressions, wow. Very, very strong. I don't think this is another Sombra. This is a hero that's probably going to impact the meta directly and in a big way. And, I don't know. Speaking of which, Bastion. I'm really curious if that pulls Bastion. And if it does pull him, if it pulls him out of turret form or not. I'm going to say if it does pull him, it will pull him, but it will not pull him out of turret form, because that's what happens with Graviton. And it's like a mini Graviton, obviously, and the devs made a direct analogy to Graviton. So I'm going to guess it's coded in the same way, and you can pull Bastion, but he doesn't get the turret. An interesting thing to do against Bastion, actually, would be to throw this onto Bastion, because that's a 900 health barrier that he now has to shoot through or move. And that presents an interesting thing where... Right now, the way Bastion works is Bastion v Bastion. The defending Bastion always has an advantage, because if you're Bastion and you're defending, you've got your Reinhardt, right? And the enemy team has to run, if they're trying to run Bastion against you, they have to run a Reinhardt to protect the Bastion. Like, you can't play Bastion into a Reinhardt and Bastion combo without your own Reinhardt. But the thing is, when you go to attack them, you have to have that split second where you set up and you crouch down. And he gets all that time to work on your Reinhardt's barrier, and that means that the defenders always win the barrier war unless you like flank somehow. But with this hero, if you're running this hero plus the Reinhardt and your Bastion, you could throw this onto the Bastion. Boom. Now he has to shoot through that barrier while you get set up, and you get to shoot through this barrier at him. Now, of course, the enemy team could also run their own Orisa and drop their own shield. But I don't know. Remains to be seen. You could get the jump on them, I feel like. Like, their Orisa would have to react to your own barrier, which gives you the advantage. The idea is to get the advantage by being able to shoot first, which you can't normally do right now. So, remains to be seen, but I think this hero is incredibly, incredibly strong. Definitely a must-have for off-tank. Like, her and Zarya together, really, really strong. And... potentially, I could see her replacing Reinhardt, depending on the composition. Not so much with the backline heavy DPS like McCree and Soldier maybe, but on a fast mobile team, I can see her fitting in so well. So yeah, those are my first thoughts on Orisa, guys. Just checking out her abilities, her kit. She seems really strong. Hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to check her out on the PTR, give her a shot. She's a blast to play. And I'll see you guys later.